Hey, this is Matt once again. What about you in another video? This is one of two paid requests from one of my dear friends, brother from another mother, Efree. Thank you so much, my friend. Not just for your friendship, but as well as for this. And for those interested in requesting any type of topics, randomness, reactions, commentaries, reviews, re-reviews, pretty much anything, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box under each of these videos. Now, they're both comparison videos. I'm going to separate them into two videos. One is two prison movies. Prison, directed by Renny Harlin from, some say 1987, some say 1988. And, of course, Alien 3. I mean, I can already tell you Prison wins, hands down. Because Prison didn't kill Hicks and Prison didn't kill Newt. And didn't, make Bishop into a plot point, then just shut him off like you'd unplug a TV. So Prison wins, hands down. Also, Prison, I think it's more commendable what it did in terms of production because it only had like a $4 million budget. Alien 3, if I have to be fair, if you looked at the set of the prison facilities, if you look at some of those shots, it's good looking on that aspect, but that had at least 50-60 million to work with. Again, Prison had like 4 million to work with. And if it was 88, Alien 3 is 92, that's only like a 4-year difference. If it was 87, that's a 5-year difference. Not like 15, 20-year difference. At most 5-year difference. So. Now, if you're comparing, for those who don't know Prison, Prison is directed by Renny Harlin, one of his early films. I believe this is a film that some people looked at and it helped get him the job in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4: The Dream Master. And that film helped him get the job in Die Hard 2. Actually, it was Adventures of Ford Fairlane. And then some people saw that, and then that led to Die Hard 2. And then, of course, led to Cliffhanger, Deep Blue Sea, Mindhunters. I really like Renny Harlin as a director. And it's ironic, because he at one point was going to direct in Alien 3, but he wanted to find a good story, and they said no. And so he left. So it's ironic that these two comparisons, because Renny Harlin was going to do a version of Alien 3. But he made the right decision and said, fuck it. What'd he do? 93, you had Cliffhanger. He made the right choice. Now, Prison, you have Chelsea Field, who, she's been in a lot of stuff. She was in the Dolph Lundgren film Masters of the Universe. She was in The Last Boy Scout, I believe. Been quite a few stuff. You have Lane Smith as the evil warden. He was Perry White on Lois and Clark, The Adventures of Superman TV show with Dean Cain. He was in this film called Son-in-Law with Pauly Shore. He's been in a lot of stuff, Lane Smith. Viggo Mortensen is a star very early in his career. You have, rest in peace to Tiny Lister Jr., Zeus. And you all know the cast of Alien 3. Okay, you compare the two, and I'm going through, like, story. Okay, let's look at story. I'm going to give it to Prison because the story of Alien 3 said, hey, you remember Aliens? How do we piss on its grave? It's dead? Yeah, we killed it because we killed Hicks, we killed Newt, we killed aliens. Did you remember that whole ending with aliens and how Ripley went back in the nest and rescued Newt? And especially you watched the longer version and one got a daughter back and one got a mother back? Yeah, that doesn't matter because it's life and life is realistic. Yeah, are xenomorphs realistic with acid for blood? Really, we're going for real. You want to pull the realism card in a universe where aliens are in it and they have acid for blood. I could understand maybe, oh, well, that part isn't realistic with physics and other stuff, but if that's what you're going for, come on now. Yes, I do think there's many, many, many other ways you could have done it. Hell, you could have just left them on the Sulaco. There's two, one facehugger down on Ripley, or doesn't even have to do that. Just have one facehugger in there, causes some ruckus. Each pod gets jettisoned according to, like, if this pod is wonky or on fire or damaged, it doesn't want to affect everything else, so that one alone gets jettisoned out. Many ways you could do it. Sci-fi. Anyway, you go to a prison planet, and then we try to figure out what to do, and then we have no weapons of any kind. The companies don't be coming. We're going to try to kill the alien. Pretty much everybody dies except one asshole that was like one of the most unlikable people in the fucking movie, and he's the one who survives. I'm sorry, I know people liked it because it's nihilistic. I'm sure they don't love Clerks 3, the Alien 3 of comedies. But Prison is a much more satisfying story to me. Viggo Mortensen's character, these people go to this prison, it's been reopened, and as it's being reopened, pieces of the place are being opened up for the longest time after so many years. The spirit is now cascading over this prison. You have the little bit of backstory with Lane Smith and this older prisoner who back then Lane Smith did some things. He was a guard at the time that were pretty shady, and someone died who they weren't supposed to die. As the old prisoner says, I watched you kill someone, and then you blamed it on someone else. Like, there's a little bit more of a mystery, and even with Viggo Mortensen, like, is he the reincarnation of the spirit? Does he look similar, or is it just blind luck on that, and there's something else going on? So yeah, I do think there's a little bit more mystery to it. And like I said, it didn't give a middle finger to the alien, so that already is a win. Music, I will say I'll give it to Alien 3. The music in Prison's not bad, but Alien 3, Elliot Goldenthal's score is a fantastic score. It deserves a much better movie. Like, there are people that do it, Alien Isolation, they turn that into a movie and they put the score in there. I'm like, that score works perfectly. If you make Alien Isolation the movie and you put this score in that movie, works beautifully. Elliot Goldenthal did a great job on the score. Again, he just had a shitty movie to work with. So I do give Alien 3 the win on that. The set design, I would give it to Alien 3, but they also have much bigger budget. When you look at just how grand some of these the sets are, like the tunnels and how they seem to go on forever. And I would give the camera work to Alien 3. Because David Fincher was doing music videos at the time. He knew how to move the camera and move it around. And even during the chase scene, the camera, without cutting, goes to the ceiling. And it's like, well, shit, music, the sets, camera work, Alien 3, Alien 3, Alien 3, story, prison, what the hell? I guess Alien 3 wins. Not yet. We're not done yet. Let's go into other aspects. The prisoners. The prisoners themselves. Because, both take place in a prison. I usually go I give the win. I'd go in the direction of prison. Why? Charles Dutton, to a lesser extent Charles Dance, they're trying, but Charles Dance, like, he enters in, and I don't think he's in the movie long enough. Like, his character dies fairly early on, and then Charles Dutton, acting wise, is doing a good job. I wouldn't say you find out a whole lot about his character, but the huge gluttony of other prisoners, try to tell me three things about any of them. In terms of, I'm not talking about like, oh, you got their backstory and this is why they're in, but when it gets to the point at the end where there's so many people with bald heads and barcodes that you can't tell the difference. I can't tell who's who and who's what and who died and who's that who died, who's that who died, who the fuck was that, who the fuck was that. Prison does a much better job. I mean, your lead character, Viggo Mortensen, who's there because he stole a car, and you see him doing things because it's the right thing to do. This guy's ready to be melted alive in a cell block, in a cell for isolation, and he's going in and rescuing him. The times he helps this old guy, like, pushes this asshole guard stepping on this old man's hand, and Viggo Mortensen's like pushing the guard, like, what are you doing, man? You know, because the guy's, very old and a bit on the frail side. So right by action, I mean, you have some people that actually have some merit and worth, and you care to see that they make it out alive. I mean, Charles S. Dutton gives a good performance, but if you look at a lot of those prisoners, why would I give a shit if they live? Why should I care if the alien kills them or not? I'm like, good, they raped or murdered someone, that's all we know? A bunch of them even try to rape Ripley? Why should I give a shit that these people die? Where's the suspense in that? Where's the thrills in that? And here, though, like, Viggo Mortensen, he's just, a bit of a car thief. And he's trying to do the right thing. And Viggo Mortensen's being, subdued, understated, but pretty solid performance. The older guy, yeah, he's this friendly old timer. He's a lifer, but he seems to treat Viggo Mortensen with respect, and he's trying not to cause too much trouble. Yeah, this one guy that they fucking call lasagna, which is but I mean, it's prison. Prison is not PC. Maybe you don't know that. There could be meanie heads in prison. Maybe you don't know that, but they are. But even he has a bit of personality. When Viggo Mortensen helps him get this poster, and he puts the poster up, and it's a Sylvester Stallone Rambo poster, which is ironic, because Rennie Harlan worked with Stallone, and cliffhanger driven, but cliffhanger especially. Even Tiny Lister Jr. Zeus, you think he's just a typical strong, Zeus, You see him that way at first, but he calms down, and, the guy that tells, oh, I love this guy, huh? Like, talking about Stallone, and there are times where Tiny Lister Jr. is actually trying to be easygoing. Like, the old guy is ready to shoot Lane Smith, and Tiny Lister's like, no, don't do it, man. Come on, don't do it. Because he knows that if he does, he's not going to make it. Like, you get a sense that some of the prisoners actually care for each other. Because, there's a certain bond of being, their own group. Even, Lane Smith has a bit... He's very unlikable, as he should be. He's the warden. But there's a bit more to his characters. His background, what's going on, what happened in the past. Is the faults of his past, his past sins coming back to bite him on the ass. Go let try to find something to talk about the Warden in Alien 3. Other than him going, no, you're fucked. Yeah, the Alien 3, the entire movie is fucked. So I'm sorry, I give it to the prisoners to Reddy Harlan's film Prison. People don't get mad about this, but I give the direction to Prison. And people go, oh, what the fuck you talking about? It's David Fincher, blah, blah, blah. But like I said before, when you have only a $4 million budget, and you look at what Renner is able to do with that tiny bit of money, and yeah, I get it. David Fincher, he had a fight with the studio, but at the same time, you had a $50, $60 million. And hey, you just say this the studio's fault. You say whoever's fault it is. Fine. You want to say the direction suffered because of the studio? Be my guest. And their involvement. But you look at Renny Harlin, you look at the way that he's able to do certain little set pieces. Whether it be bits where a light is going through the grates one after the other. The way he sets up action set pieces, like when the spirits are going apeshit crazy and the cell doors are blowing up and blasting, and how he sets up shots where one guy makes another guy stay outside and he closes the door on him in order to save himself, and because the other guy's a creepo. And then this pick-axe flies, and the way he shoots and kills the guy, and it cuts to the guy, and the pick-axe goes through the door and almost hits him in the face. Even though, a shot where we see Terry's walking away and it pans up and you see this cross. It was like nice reveal shot. Again, with what you're able to do with a small amount of a budget, that to me is more impressive than, show me what you can do when you don't have all the money in the world. And then if you're impressed with that, then that deserves, I think, a bit more of a tip of the hat. Give the guy 10 million, give this guy 100 million. You don't be studying the 10 million a bit more and go, wow, you're able to do that. The kills, I think the kills are better in Prison. Obviously, because in Alien 3 it's a xenomorph, so a xenomorph's going to be able to kill you only a certain amount of ways. But even then, it's a guy gets hit and falls to the fan, or your Charles Dance gets killed, and then you have just a bunch of these bald guys getting killed, and kind of feels redundant after a bit. You look at Prison, and you look at, oh, well, this guy, he's trying to escape, and this stuff's like getting more and more crushing him. And there's even more graphic, because the next day, his fucking body and all his blood, guts, and body parts fall down. One person gets barbed wire wrapped around them, and the fucking chair goes right through the ceiling because the ghost picks the motherfucker up to place right in front of Lane Smith's, the warden's, desk. One person gets shot to shit, and it's like good practical blood squibs. One person gets a burn right through his fucking stomach, like if this ray of light is like a big old flamethrower, just passes right through this guy's stomach. One guy gets melted, and yeah, you can tell it's a practical, it's a animatronic head by the way it moves, but it's still done practically with charm, and a guy gets burned up, ready to melt. Not full on melt, but just burned up. I mean, the kills are just not only more unique, but just more interesting, more memorable to me. They're more memorable. They're more fun to talk about. More fun to remember. The ending. I mean, the ending to Prison is much more satisfying compared to Alien 3, because Alien 3 is pretty much a funeral. If you love funerals, I'm glad. Doesn't mean that's everyone's cup of tea. I know I don't think it needed to be that way. I don't think it was the right decision because guess what? Whatever you can like the film all you want, but it killed the box office, and the Alien franchise has never come back since. I know you say, well, Prometheus. Well, yeah, I did give you Prometheus made some money, but it's a very love or hated movie. I do think the movie has. I thought it was a piece of shit when it first came out, and people gave me death threats because I said it. It seems like as the years come after Prometheus came out, it seems like more people are realizing, yeah, the movie kind of sucks. If you like the film, cool, I'm glad. Doesn't mean I have to. But I still think that franchise suffered starting with Alien 3. I will say it gave the death blow to the franchise, and the rest of it's been bleeding to death. People say Alien Resurrection. No. I think Alien 3 was a stab in the heart. Alien Resurrection is paler, not much blood left, and then the rest is just the walking fucking corpse that companies are standing and dancing on. And then hell, you get the ones Ridley Scott directed. It's the thing's been buried and you're dancing on the grave. Prison is its own thing, has an ending, has a beginning, a middle, and end. No reason to be pissed off about it. Has a decent atmosphere showcasing prison, the facilities. I say the score's not fantastic, but it fits for what it needs to accomplish, and it's a very worthy movie. Like if you haven't seen Prison, I think Prison's a nice gem of a film. I know, oh, it sucks. You want to see a shitty version of that? Go watch The Chair, where Stephen Jeffries from the original Fright Night, Evil Ed, is in it. Go watch The Chair. That's a piece of shit. Prison is very underrated. And it's just more fun to talk about prison. Like this asshole who is messing with this guy, and then he tries to mess with Viggo Mortensen, who has like a football, and the guy tries to act tough, so Viggo Mortensen grabs his balls and says, listen, I mind my own business, but since you don't comprehend that, so how about this? You give me back my ball, I'll give you back yours. So he gets his football back and he lets the guy go. See, I just say that with a smile on my face. What the fuck am I going to say with a smile on my face in Alien 3? Well, is that supposed to be a happy-go-lucky movie? I'm not saying it has to be fucking Ernest Steer stupid with xenomorphs. Although I would watch that movie. I really would. But God damn, man. Like, when you make the previous film completely pointless, yeah, I think that's a bit of a fucking disservice. But hey, if you like it, that's fine. I can partially understand because, hell, I like fucking Elm Street 4 The Dream Master, and you just say they did the same thing in Elm Street 3 The Dream Warriors, but I like Elm Street 3 The Dream Warriors, but I don't like it on the level of Aliens. What to say, Aliens is one of my favorite films of all time. And I feel like they have on my own mindset, not anybody else's mindset. That's why each review is unique. Despite what people want to say, movie reviews is based on your preferences, your life experience, and what you believe in. It is. That's why every movie will go. There's going to be different views on every single movie ever made. You get some people that hate Raiders of the Lost Ark or the original RoboCop. Doesn't mean I agree. Who does? Look at IMDb. There's the thing. Go on IMDb. Click user reviews or ratings. Yeah, user reviews actually. And then on the side, review rating. Click on it and it goes 10-10. Click on it so it starts at 1. Any movie you think of is going to have that. I guarantee you I could go find user reviews of Mac and me and there'll be people, it's a 10 out of 10 movie. for various reasons. It's just how it is. But anyway, Prison for the win. Beats the fuck out of Alien 3. Hashtag fuck Alien 3. So I don't know what else to say. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.